After that, we share the merit with those who disturb. Then chant Pirita, and with the greater water, the water we spread all with the water, and the greater nu also in all rooms. Since then, on that night, nothing happened. Since then, the problems solved. These are wonderful things. But we cannot see, But there is a power of operators ahead. In Yangon, there are some other problems also in this way. If you chant the Pirita, it's okay. Last year, from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, one family came to attend my Abhidhamma class in Sakai. They had small son. He is 3 years age, named Ananda. He is a very healthy boy from Kuala Lumpur. That family stayed in one building together. About 11 o'clock at night, every night, the child is in sleeping, fighting, angrily fighting, and after that, vomit. So they complained about that, report me, I go doctor and check. One day it's okay, this time the problem come again. Therefore, this problem is strange. No, cannot be normal one. So I went there together monks, chant Pirita and shared the meritorious actions. So the problem also solved. Since then, the boy is so happy. Nothing happened at night. You know the buildings, that close to the buildings. So there is a power of Pirita. They are also not into their life. Actually, they have a life. Immediately they were born in this life, according to. That is one life. Not only human life is life, the ghost life also life. Therefore, no entire life. Most people are in this way. When I visited to Japan in 1997, on the way back to Myanmar from United States, I dropped in Japan. I stayed 2 nights in Koyasan, near Osaka. Koyasan is in the mountain. A lot of monasteries, a lot of temples. There's a very big cemeteries. Many people visit and praying for their late persons. The Japanese monks, they chant every day. One day I asked a question to the Japanese monks. Why do you chant to the late people? He said, to give a guideline to the spirit. The spirit is searching for their life. By chanting, they can find better life. He answered in this way. Therefore, we have to chant the late person. There are spirits. Spirits remain in cemetery. They are searching for. They are waiting for good job. They are waiting for chance, better life. As a help of them, they chant some of sutras. I don't know what they chant. He told me. Then I asked It is so, depending on your guideline, how many spirits have received better life. In our life, you see, there are some people also broadcast that they help to have a job. If they help, they have job. But the spirits also have like better life. How many spirits have better life? To do your, because of you chant, you are chanting. He replied, I don't know how many spirits have better life. Traditionally they chant. So many people nowadays, you see, they are praying, chanting on late persons. I think after that the chantings will be too late. Because he has already born and lived a life. Cannot have a better life. Sharing merit, if he, with him, if he or she agreed the marriage happily, sadhu sadhu, maybe there is benefit. It's benefit this one. Otherwise, it's cannot benefit. There's the only way to help the lay person. It is also the lay person can accept meritorious action with the agreement of sadhu sadhu. They can receive the result of kusala. Otherwise, they cannot. If they don't know, they didn't. Only those who agreed, happily accept the kusala, they received the advantage. The others cannot receive. If they don't know, they cannot receive. That is it, according to the Buddha's teaching. If you wish to know about that, you can read Janu Soni Sutta. Janu Soni Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, Book 10. Janu Soni Sutta. In Janu Soni Sutta, traditional practice, the Buddha, the Brahmin asked about traditional practice. That is a merit, sharing merit with the lay person. They ask, is it benefit or not benefit? The Buddha classified. If the person is a suitable place, it is benefit. If not suitable place, cannot benefit. The Buddha said. Then another sutta is a Sutta Nipata and Kurka Bhatha Tiro Kota Sutta. Tiro Kota. Tiro Kota means the other side of wall. Tiro Kota. Kota means this wall. Tiro Kota means the other side of wall. Outside wall, inside wall, and this one. Tiro Kota. Tiro Kota is also the Buddha, Tiro Kota Sutta, the Buddha explained about that. So because that is unavoidable, many people perform something for late relations. Which is a benefit, which is not a benefit, we must know. As a Buddhist people. Maybe the other religious believers, accordingly they perform. But in Myanmar there are a lot of stories who are not Buddhist. They request to share merit. According to their way, it does not succeed. According to the Buddhist way, it succeed. Sharing merit is very benefit to persons. Okay? There's a classifications of functions. You must read these regarding the linking like continent, departing, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, receiving, investigating, determining, jhana, dynamic, following, and jhana object. The other translators use registration, Tadaramana, they translate the registration. Chuti is death. They are functions of mind. According to the function, I will explain in this lectures. Okay?
First, I must thank you for the questions you have posed. There are altogether 15 questions for this evening. Some more, okay. We may not be able to finish all the questions for tonight, so we'll carry this over for the next question and answer session. Okay, I'll read out the questions and Sarah will give you the answers. Okay, question number 1 says, why mind door adverting consciousness is associated with viriya, but 5 door adverting consciousness is not associated with it, viriya.
Intended not to mention about that, not to explain, but in my opinion, I will explain. That is reasonable or not reasonable. You should contemplate. Okay? That's not to say exactly why Panchadara Vajana associated from Viriya, why Manodara Vajana associated with the Viriya. In my opinion, Manodara Vajana, Panchadara Vajana, 5 door adverting consciousness. 5 door adverting consciousness, you see, visual object reflected eye. So this is a base and object. Base and object engage. Then sound appeared in the ear. That is also contact this one. Sound and ear. The others are very clear. Taste and tongue, smell and nose, body and tangible. By impingement, partly this object is hit the base. Therefore, such a object received, such a object, Panchadara Vajana attained such a object. Therefore, not necessary the viriya, not the help of viriya, because of object impinged into the base. Therefore, without the viriya, Panchadara Vajana can't aware of the object, can't attain aware of the object. But Manodara Vajana, even subtle object also attained. Nirvana objects included. That is not impingement, sense organ and sense object, not impingement. Therefore, in Manodara Vajana, need the help of viriya. Therefore, in Manodara Vajana associated with the viriya, you get the meaning or not? Because there is energy. The 5 objects impinge these sense organs. Therefore, without the help of viriya, Panchadara Vajana can perceive the object. Because it is an object intact. But Manodara Vajana, some objects are not like that. Very subtle object, even very subtle object, Manodara Vajanas can aware, can attend. So therefore, it's needed the help of viriya. Without the viriya, cannot perceive the object. object is very subtle. That is maybe the reason. But no test to explain about that. That's okay. Then Panchadvara Vachana dissociate. Panchadvara Vachana does not associate Viriya. Manodhara Vachana associate with the Viriya. They have different powers. Panchadvara Vachana is less power than Manodhara Vachana. Manodhara Vachana is much more power than Panchadvara Vachana. In action, mind is more powerful. For example, if we hear the sound, on hearing the sound, Panchadvara Vachana is one process, hearing thought, hearing consciousness process appeared. After that, recalling it, mental process follow. At that time, the person does not know yet about that, only perceived the object. Okay? First, hearing consciousness just perceived. Now realize the natures of the object. After that, Manodvara mental process follow. That is recalling that object. Then naming what kind of sound, naming with the naming object, with the name, another mental process follow. Then the meaning, the fourth mental process and mindfulness follow. Only fourth mental process realize the nature. To clarify about that, someone say dog. So the other person hears sound, dog. But first hearing is Panchadvara Vachana, Soda Vijnana, Samadechana, Sandirana, Uttavana, Javana, Dharamana arise. Not yet the meanings, only catching of sound. Then mental process follow. Recalling the sound, dog, recalling sound, not present sound, recalling. Other than Manodhara Vachana, Javana, Dharamana and pass away. Then third mental process for Utu. Utu means, you see, weather changes and then when weather change, trees depend on weather. Tree also changes. People are very happy. Yes, we cannot see from the body there's a chemicals. This chemical effect weather changes of the tree. This tree, the weather is effectuated or benefit to the tree. That is called Chitta Pacchaya Utu Samodhana. Chitta Pacchaya Utu Samodhana means Utu produce, Utu which is a base, which is caused by Chitta. Utu which is caused by Chitta produce. Not really, indirect way. It is also possible, you see. Possible. Nowadays, you see, our walls become warmer and warmer. Why? The human people's lovadosa is more and more. Therefore, warmer and warmer. Not because of ozone. If ozone, why ozone happen? Maybe other conditions have. The Buddha said in this way in Chakravarti Sutta, human mind also affect circumstances. Human mind affect circumstances, changing. Whether
can a person be enlightened without doing any form of meditation? but through the means of listening or reading the Dhamma.
Yeah, that is possible. We can say meditation means just only not sit in this meditations. Importance of contemplation in the mind. Reading books, you contemplate. Listening to Dhamma, you contemplate. Applied in the body. In Buddha's lifetime, there are many people who attain Magaphala listening to the Buddha's teachings. Because of when they listen, why they are listening, some people understand, oh, that is correct, that is correct. Because of that is applying, not only test, applying in the body. Practical way they contemplate. That is also meditation practice. That is also practice. You should differentiate it from concentration and contemplation. Concentration is just keep your mind only one object. That is concentration. Only keeping one object, focusing one object, keeping your mind only one object. That's the concentration. Contemplation is not like that. Whatever appears, notice, contemplate nature. That is contemplation. That is vipassana. Vipassana is a contemplation. The Buddha used Vedana Nupassana. And Nupassana means proper seeing, you see, or repeated seeing. And Nupassana. The literal meaning is Passana means seeing, not concentration. Not concentration. But concentration also necessary. Forget, contemplate. Forget, focus and contemplate. Contemplation, seeing the nature, repeatedly seeing the nature, that is anupassana. Seeing the natures of impermanent, anicca anupassana. Seeing the natures of suffering, dukkha anupassana. Seeing the natures of anatta, seeing the natures of no soul, soullessness, anatta anupassana. So, that is just seeing. Not keeping, concentrate only one object, not like that. So, only vipassana can lead to Magaphala. Samatha alone cannot. Samatha object is an imaginary object. To keep mind longer, it is possible only imaginary object. Because reality objects momentary. Reality, all realities are momentary. You see? Changing. How to keep only one object? Impossible. Mind is rise and falling. Cannot keep one. If we try to keep one, mind pass away, another one appears. So therefore, samatha are only concept, imaginary object. Vipassana is a reality. Therefore, without sitting, but don't be lazy out there. Oh, without sitting, I can succeed. Sitting also benefit. Okay? Sitting, meditation, to establish concentration. Through concentration, can see clearly more and more. Therefore, don't think, oh, the Sayadaw explained and no need to sit to meditation. I didn't say like that. I didn't say like that. Is it necessary to sit to meditation? But the knowledge, you see, I tell you the stories. This is from Therikatha. In Therikatha, Therika, her name is Therika. She went to the monastery to listen to Dhamma from the Buddha. After that, she came back her home and she cooked in the kitchen. Why she cook? Other than she cook vegetable. The fresh vegetable she put on the pan. Immediately catching the word dog. Other than not seeing dog, only the word he catch. After that, another thought process appeared with the substance of dog. Other than he sees dog, he saw dog in the mind. At least one sound, 4 mental process is need. If it 2 sound, maybe more and more. If the person previously don't know about a dog, he may think many thought process. He said a dog, what is a dog, what is a dog, what is a dog? Only question. He didn't see dog. So therefore, Manodara Vachana is more powerful than Panchadara Vachana. Panchadara Vachana just perceived the object. Panchadara Vachana can perceive by impeachment of sense object and sense organ. Not need his effort, not necessary effort. Object immediately invade. Manodara Vachana is not like such an object. Like a meditation object, Nirvana objects are very subtle. Cannot engage, cannot see with the eye, cannot hear, cannot smell, cannot taste, cannot touch. Therefore, just in mind. So very subtle. Therefore, the help of Virya is necessary. So that is my opinion. Okay.
Next question says, why is it that kusala cetas are easier to arise compared... I beg your pardon, sorry, I read it wrongly. I repeat again. Why is it that akusala cetas are easier to arise compared to kusala cetas? Has it got anything to do with the fact that akusala cetas has less cetasikas associated with it compared to kusala cetas? For example, maximum cetasikas associated with kusala ceta is 22, whereas minimum cetasika associated with kusala ceta is 30.
Why akusala cetas arises more? First question.
Easier to arise compared to kusala ceta.
Because of habitual practice. Kusala is mostly rise, akusala is mostly rises within us. That is habit. Habitual practice. Then another this questions why kusala akusalas more association and akusala is a less association. That is it. Okay.
So has it got anything to do with the fact that akusala ceta has less cetasikas associated with it compared to kusala cetas?
I think you see the bad persons stay alone. For example, robbers, thieves, there are not many associations. Akusala also not many associations. So akusala has less associations. Evil persons are less than good persons. Good persons stay and associate with the association. So akusalas are, you see, they are hiding. They are not so necessary in group. So terrorists sometimes are only allowed. It is so many, you cannot hide. So akusala also not necessary many members. I think like that, but not as to say like.
Yeah. Next question. How does a Vipassana meditator achieve the 40 Lokottara Cetas? How is Mega and Phala realized?
Actually, on those days, they practice first samatha. After attainment of jhana, they meditate only the jhana factors. Then the vipassana. After vipassana, they attain the mega phala. But for those who followed pure vipassana, it cannot be 40 Lokottara Cetas. For pure vipassana, only 8 Lokottara Cetas is possible. Cannot be jhana there. They have no jhana, therefore cannot be 40 Lokottara Cetas. For them, for pure vipassana practitioners, only 8 Lokottara Cetas is possible. With the jhana, it's become 40. Without jhana, 8. In 2 ways, therefore. Because of meditation, the practitioner also 2 ways. One, followed the samatha. After attainment of samatha, it is followed the vipassana. For those 40 Lokottara Cetas. For those who practice only pure vipassana without approaching samatha, it is only 8.
Why is it from Chuti Ceta to Patisadani Ceta, the new being is not able to recall the previous life even though mind process continues?
You see, there are many facts we forgot. Even in lunch, how many calories we eat? Even we experience many points are forgot. So, therefore, even Chuti and Patisadi continued many. These are, you see, death and rebirth. These are in the dark, you see, in the dark. Totally changes, not in the light. In the light, in dark, at the time, in darkness. So very fearful. Chuti arises and then Patisadi arises. Between them there is no interval, but this is so terrible. You see, we keep up the previous life. The new life also, as a human being, just not immediately grown up, just starting white. So cannot be remember this. Even in lunchtime, what we eat is we cannot remember all. We cannot remember all. It's forgot. So many points are forgot. Therefore, cannot recall.
We learn about the Cetas that frequent the Kama, Rupa and Arupa planes. We also learn about the Rupa that can appear in these planes. Do the different planes occupy the same Akasa? How can we associate the different Bhumi with the Akasa that they occupy? Do they overlap in the same Akasa?
The same space, maybe. No? But maybe these beings are different position, different natures. I will tell you something about deities or human war. It's quite difficult, quite different between them. In the story of Alavaka, the augurs, his palace under Bodh tree near Alavi. But many people are sitting under Bodh tree, that Bodh tree. Nobody find his palace. But his palace is there, is very big one. One day the Buddha sit inside. he attacked the Buddha, he fight the Buddha. Why the Buddha invade my palace? That story is in Yakha Sayutta and Alavaka Sutta. Alavaka Sutta and Yakha Sayutta. With the naked eye, we can see nothing. Under both tree, people are going, coming back. We see only tree. We cannot see the palace or the place or the dwelling place or Alavaka. Therefore, cannot be overlapped. It's different natures. So now, in our world, there are air. Airs appear. Air does not make us narrow our place. But for fish, maybe they cannot move. They difficulty the air. For us, water is a difficulty inside water. But for fish, water is not difficulty for them. Maybe like our air, they can go in and going, coming back, shifting anywhere. So like nature is a different nature. The human body and the other's body, we cannot see the other's body. Therefore, there is nothing to be overlapped. But according to Tibetan tradition, I heard, but I didn't know exactly. I heard they never chop, never cut down a tree and plant. Because in tree and plant there are deities. In Buddhist texts also said there are three deities here. The monks are also not allowed to cut down trees because there are some beings which dwell in tree. But we didn't see in tree. Therefore, if someone climbed the tree, it's no overlap. No overlap. We cannot touch them. You may see the ghost movie. Ghosts cannot touch, you see. They also cannot touch us. So therefore cannot be overlap different natures. So my opinion. Yes.
Question number 6 says, can we say that mind appears first and then matter, or mind and matter at the same time?
I cannot say exactly. Only that point we have said. In our life, starting point, mind matters simultaneously. As soon as Patisani mind arises, Kamabhu matters arises. As soon as. But later on, sometimes matters precede, mind followed. Sometimes mind precede, matter followed. Cannot say which is must be matter. But you see in Dhammavada, mind is a foreigner or mental state. That is another aspect. That is the meaning. Mind lead. Mind is leading condition. Not because of preceding. Not because of preceding. Without a mind, the other cannot arise. That is the meaning. Even the translation, mind is a foreigner, but mind not precedingly run fast. The others follow not like that. You see associations as in mind, Jeta and Cetasikas arising together, ceasing together. With the matter, sometimes arise together, but not cease together. Sometimes different moment. Rise in different moment. Sometimes the mind precede metta followed, metta precede, mind followed. Cannot say exactly. It's okay.
Okay, next question. Is Kalala a combination of sperm and ovum? Is there life in sperm and ovum?
According to test, the Kalala, according to test, Kalala is very small dog, tiny dog. Maybe Kalalas remained. Kalala is using composed of consciousness, relinking consciousness and karma-born matters. So, according to test, this is macroscopic. Spine and ovum is not macroscopic. Can be seen with the eye. So maybe this one, spine and ovum is a cover. Kalala is inside. Anakon. Without a kalala, like that you see, if we wish to grow plant, there's a seed, soil. We grow in the soil. So kalala is like a seed. This seed can be grown in spine and ovum. Spine and ovum is like a soil. Kalala is a seed. Because according to test, kalala is so small. So how to say, sometimes you see, the needle. Needles are very sharp, deep. It's needles placed into the wine. After that, 100 times shake. Then there remained the drop, tiny drop here. That cannot see with our eye, only macroscopic. So Kalala's measurement in this way, according to commentary. So cannot be span and ovum. Span ovum is like a soil. Kalala is a seed. So okay? Yeah.
Lord Buddha said in Pali, Kusala, Akusala, Manati, Zana, Titi, Manoso.
Who's the question?
Okay, the question here is, in which sutta is this verse mentioned? Yes, first one.
For that question, I must correct the Pali. Not correct Pali. Good evening, my Dhamma brothers and Dhamma sisters. Let us start the lecture on Abhidhamma. Dealing with the feeling. Chaita is classified. Because of this classification for meditation purpose is important. We have to realize the meanings of feeling. Feeling in Sotanda, dealing with the feeling, the Buddha in Mahasatipatthana Suttas explain Vedana Nupassana. In Paticca Samuppada, to realize Vedana is important because if we cannot contemplate Vedana, craving will arise. We must realize Vedana, feeling. If we realize the natures of Vedana, we can remove craving. So in Paticcasamuppada also Vedana Paccaya Tanha. Depending on Vedana, craving arises. Therefore Vedana should be realized, must be realized. In 5 decades also the Buddha mentioned Vedana Khanda, feeling intricate. Because of many people what for their feeling, especially happiness. In the New Year, even people say, because of their want to have happiness, happy Christmas, happy New Year, they have to say. This is referring to Vedana. If it's so, people also like happiness, Vedana, but dislike unhappiness. We must realize in the natures of Vedana as a Vedana. Otherwise, we cannot remove the attachment to Vedana. So therefore, here also classifying about the Vedana. On coming Sunday, I will preach about Vedana Nupassana. How Vedana should be contemplated. Why Vedana especially should be contemplated. To realizations of Vedana, how important the realizations of Vedana will be explained. Basically, we must know the knowledge of Vedana. Vedana is mental state. Mental state means when consciousness arises, it arises together with the consciousness. It is a mental state. We must know part of it. It is just a mental state. All mental states are subject to impermanence. They are not permanent entity. They are not soul. They are not Atman. They are not Atta. Only Vedana is just nature, just a phenomena. We must realize it in this way. Vedana has a condition, depending on condition, this Vedana arises. So how many type of Vedanas, how Vedana arises, basically we should know. So for this knowledge, in Abhidhamma Sangha classified, therefore classifications of Chaita through associated feeling. According to 3 types of feeling, Chaita must be classified in this way. Chaita with the pleasure, Chaita with the pain, Chaita with the neither pleasure nor pain. So, Chaita with the pleasure. How many Chaitas with the pleasure? 63. Okay, 62 so Swamanasa, 1 is Sukha Sahagata. So altogether 63. 63 Chaitas associated with the pleasant feeling. Sukha Sahagata Chaita. Whenever these Chaitas arises within us, pleasant feeling, the pleasure arises, we must know in this way. Okay, Chaita and Vedana. Then Chaita with the pain, there is 3, Dukkha Sahagata. Here Dukkha Sahagata means including Dosa Mula Chaita. Dukkha Sahagata, Kaya Vijnana, Dukkha Sahagata, Kaya Vijnana, and Dosa Mula Chaita. Dosa Mula Chaita is 2, hatred rooted in consciousness. There is also pain. You can experience when you are angry, your pleasure or pain. So must know about that. Dukkha Sagata Kaya Vijnana, when we get headache, backache, this mental pains appear, therefore Dukkha Sagata is a 3. If a 3 Chaitas arises within us, our feeling is painful feeling. You must know. Then Chaita with neither pleasure nor pain, 55. So this 55 is neutral feeling, indifferent feeling. Let's say homework, you must enumerate these numbers. Okay? You can read chapter 1. You can find with the Chaita is with the Somanasa, with the Chaita is Upekha. You can know easily. So altogether 121 according to this number. Then according to 5 feeling, Chaita must be classified in this way. Chaita with the pressure, Sukha Sahagata. Sukha Sahagata Kaya Vijnana. That is physical happiness. 1. Chaita with the pain, Dukkha Sahagata Kaya Vijnana, physical pain. Okay. Chaita with the joy, that is a mental happiness, Somanasa Sahagata. Above explanation, above classification, 63 here, number 1 and number 3 together. Okay, number 1 and number 3, if added number 1 and number 3, we get 63. Then Chaita with the displeasure, Domanasa Dhagata 2, mental unhappiness. This is 2, number 4 and number 2, if you add it together, we can get, and 3, number 3, 2, number 2, is counted 3. Then Chaita with the neutral feeling, Upekha Dhagata 55, the same things, okay? So altogether 121. That is Chaita and feeling classification. Chaita with the pressure is 1, body consciousness with the pressure, enumeration. Chaita with the pain is 1, body consciousness with the pain. Chaita with the joy are 62, lower mula with the pressure 4. Ahituka with the pressure 2. Do you remember which 2? Santirana, Somanasa Santirana is 1, Hasitopara is 1. Okay? With the pressure. Kama Somana with the pressure 12. From Kusala 4, from Vipaka 4, from Kriya 4, altogether 12. Then first jhana 11. How first jhana began 11? Rupavajara, first jhana is 3, because of Rupavajara Chaita is Kusala is 1, Vipaka 1, Kariya 1. So 3. Lokuttara first jhana is 8. Okay? 3 and 8 make 11. In the same way, second jhana 11, third jhana 11, fourth jhana 11. With this pleasant feelings, with the joy. Chaita with the displeasure are 2, Dosamula 2. Chaita with the neutral feeling are 55. Akusala with the neutral feeling 6. Ahituka with the neutral feeling 14. Kama Sovana with the neutral feeling 12. Fifth jhana 23. How to get 23? Rupavajara, from Rupavajara Chaita, fifth jhana is 3. Arupavajara jhana is 12. Then Lokuttara is 8. Okay? Altogether So by the way of three types of opinion, the Chaita with the pressure are 63. There is just explanations, okay? Then classifications or rules. There is another classification. Roots, hetu, are all Chaitasika, which are analyzed into 6 by way of their intrinsic natures, namely Lobha, greed, dosa, hatred, moha, delusion. Alobha, no greed, adosa, no hatred, amoha, no delusion. So these are only Chaitasika. But by way of species, they are 9 by way of species. Wholesome roots, kusala hetu, are 3, alova, adosa, amoha. Unwholesome roots, akusala hetu, are 3, lova, dosa, moha. Intermediate roots, abhyagata, are 3, alova, adosa, amoha. Therefore, one question is asked, why akusala rasa without a hate, only without a hate? Because alava adosa cannot be akusala rasa. Lova dosa is only akusala. Cannot be intermediate, cannot be other roots. So therefore, akusala rasa only ahetuka, only without a hetu. Kusala rasa is ahituka and sahitukas too. Because alava, adosa, amohas are not only kusala, they are also abhyagata, can be both. But lova, dosa, amohas are only kusala, akusala, cannot be abhyagata. Therefore, akusala rasa, alava, adosa, amoha impossible. So lova, dosa, amoha also real akusala, therefore they cannot be result of akusala. They are akusala. They are themselves akusala. So therefore, ahituka, akusala rasa is impossible. So accordingly, will be classified. There is hetu paccaya. If you understand this base knowledge, you can understand hetu paccaya in 24 conditions in Patthana. So hetu paccaya's explanations according to only these 6. Classifications of Chaita through associated roots. Chaita without roots, 18. There is a new one, ahituka Chaita, 18. Okay, Chaita without roots are 80. They are according to order of thought process as follows. There is according to process, not a textual order. It is thought process order. Ahituka Chaita's mentioned the thought process order. First, Fido adverting consciousness, Panchadvara Vachana. Sense consciousness at 10. Vijnana Chaitas. Receiving consciousness, Sampadechana 2. Investigating consciousness, Santirana 3. Determining consciousness, Uttavana. That is a Manodhara Vachana. Manodhara Vachana and Uttavanas are the same, but different doors. In Maindu, it is called Manodhara Vachana because it is attention in Maindu. In Maindu, it performs the functions of attention. In Fido, it does not perform the functions of attention. It performs a different function, that is a determining. Okay? Like a human beings, some people are using, some people in the office, they are manager, but in the house, they are cook. So, accordingly, you see, according to function, there is a name. Manodhara Vachana also, in Maindu, it performs the functions of attention, therefore, Avachana. In the fight room, no more avachana, no longer avachana, it's determining. After function, it is named. Then Chaita with the one root, 2 with the one root, Chaita with the one root, Eka Hetuka. Eka means one, Hetu means root, Ka means with the one root. Are 2, Chaita rooted in delusion, Mohamula Chaita. And Mohamula Chaita has only one root. What is one root? Only Moha. Not Lova, not Dosa. Only Moha. Moha alone is the root. The other Chaitasikas are not the root. So therefore, with the one root. 2. That is called Eka Hetuka Chaita. Then Chaita with the 2 roots, 22. Chaita with the 2 roots, Dvihetuka. Dvihetuka. Dvi means 2, Hetu means root, Ka means width. With the 2 roots are 22. Chaita rooted in that is the correct Pali's. Kusala, Melody, Chana, Diti, Manoso. With the diacritic mark. Kusala means Kusala, Akusala. Manati, Chanadi means knows Kusala, knows. Manati, Chanadi means to. Manati explanation was a Chanadi. So Manati knows or realize. That is the meaning. Manosa means, Manosa is so-called because he knows the Kusala and Akusala. That is the definition of the word Manosa. Manosa means a human being. So Manosa is so-called because he knows Kusala and Akusala, good and evil. Want to say that. That is the definition. The word Manosa, what is the literal meaning? What is the literal meaning? Explanation. Definition is given. That is not from any sutta. There is a grammatical rules according to grammar, Pali grammar. One of the Pali grammar tests, Kachayana, Vyakarana. In Kachayana, Vyakarana, the last sutta, chapter 8, the last sutta, Manupura Sunadihi Usanu Sisa is the rule. In Kachayana Sutta there are 672 rules. We have to memorize all. In Myanmar, many monks have to memorize these all. 672 grammatical rules. So in Bali, Manupura Sunadihi Osanu Sisa. Manusa means root is mana. From mana, usa is a suffix. Mana, usa together join manosa. What form? How this word form? What form is the explanation, the meaning of what form? So meaning is like that. Manosa, a human being, is Manosa means, Manosa is a so-called because he realized, he knows Kusala and Akusala or good and evil. So That is the meaning. Not any sutra. What explanation? Definition. It's okay.
Seattle has also answered the second question here. It says, what is the meaning of this verse? That is the second question. What I understand is that if you do not know kusala and akusala, you are not a human being. Is that correct? Seattle has already answered that.
Not to be manusa. Human beings must know in this way. Real manusa. Artificial manusa is possible. That is what the definition is. Okay.
Next question is, Sada means 5 factors. 1, faith in the Buddha. 2, faith in the Dhamma. 3, faith in the Sangha. 4, belief in karma, in bracket kusala and akusala. 5, belief in the result of karma. Some teachers only explain 3 factors. Is there 3 or 5 factors?
In Dhammavara, it is explained in 5. 5 is, we must understand in this way. 4 more trees called the Sada associated with the Lokottara. 4 more 3. Faith in Buddha, faith in Dhamma, faith in Sangha. That is arises within Sotapanna. Mostly families within Sotapanna. Therefore, faith in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, these first 3 are mostly arise in Sotapanna. Therefore, it is called Supramani Sada. Supramani Sada, Lokottara Sada. The other 2, the remaining 2, believing karma and believing result of karma, these are called Mande Sada, Lokiya Sada. It's the base of Sada, which is the base. That is Mande, not Supramande. Lokottara Sada, Lokiya Sada. 2 types of Sada. Second, the first 3 belong to Lokottara. The remaining 2 belong to Lokiya. It's classifications in this way. Maybe some talk about only 3 Lokottara Sada. Sometimes they talk about only 2. This is a Lokiya Sada. So, okay?
For insight meditation, some teachers say that we must know all 24 rupas, 89 or 121 chetas, and 52 chetasikas. If we do know all these, we cannot achieve nama rupa parichedanana. That is the first stage of jnana. Is this true?
Cannot be know all. What we have not, how to know? Some meditations, what is Abhidhamma, we have to know. What is Abhidhamma, we have to know. If it's not Abhidhamma, we cannot know. Because we mustn't know by ourselves. If it's something not arises within us, how to know? That is a classifications, a fully classifications. Only possibilities are enumerated. Only possibilities are enumerated. They can say, generally speaking, chetas 89, rupa 28, nama rupas are all together. Generally speaking. But you see, when you practice breathe in, breathe out, anapanasati meditation, following the vipassana practice, then we can notice the air. Air is air element. That is potapa, tangible object. You see, air. When we breathe in, the air touched our nostrils. So the air is called tangible object. Sometimes the air cold. We notice a cold. That is a day job. Sometimes we notice heat, hot, heat. That is also tejo. Sometimes we notice the air when touch, it is a smooth, softness. That is we notice Patavi. There's we notice motion. So we notice only the air is composed of three, Patavi, tejo, vayu. That is a tangible object. This is a tangible object in page and the nostril. This nostril is a sensitive body. So tangible object, sensitive body. Meeting, depending on tangible object, sensitive body, knowing of touchings, minds appear. When vipassana practice, we need to know only these, not necessary to know others. You see, the others are not appear within us. Only presently we must notice these. So in that case, we notice air and sensitive body by touching these two. Touch, knowing of touchings appear. Knowing of touching is mind. Air and sensitive body is metta. So if we notice in this way, that is also analytical knowledge of mind and matter. Cannot know everything. Meditation is practice, must be. There is also nama rupa paricheda. Whatever present, only present object we must know. Otherwise, imaginary will be. You image about the books. Not the meditation, vipassana meditation object must be present object in reality. Realities. Otherwise, imaginary. So imaginary is impossible. You see, you can to read Kaisukopama Sutta or Samyutta. Kaisukopama. Kaisuka, a kind of tree. For example, like a cherry tree. When cherry tree is a drop, it is a leaf. So, in one season, cherry tree drops leaf. In one season, cherry tree bears flower. For one season, cherry tree bears leaves also. Different times. That is appearance at different times. The person who saw cherry tree without a leaf, he will talk about it. What is about a cherry tree? Oh, cherry tree is a no leaf. He saw no leaf at that time. Is it true? When cherry tree bear the flowers, at that time the person was asked, what about the cherry tree? Did you see how to say cherry? Oh, cherry trees bear beautiful flowers. He said, without a leaf. Then the other person sees it in cherry tree with a leaf. At that time, oh, cherry trees with a leaf. Take a leaf, he say, dense, shadow. So in different way they will point out. They will point out the cherry tree. But all are true, not completely true, partly true. But they point out the cherry tree, not the other tree. So like that, Nama Rupa also, we cannot know all. Kesukopama Sutta explained in that point. Some monks became arahant, contemplating Patavi. It is meditation objects only Patavi. The other monks are contemplating the Vayu. So different way they will explain how to attain Nirvana, how to attain Megaphala. They will explain, oh, Megaphala can be attained if you contemplate the Patavi object, other element. The other persons will say, oh, to attain Nirvana, to attain Megaphala, you must contemplate air element, object. Different ways that they say. Their presentation is different. But all are true. That is the meaning. not necessary to know everything. Only the Buddhas can know. But attachment can be removed. It knows one. In Sayanta Nikaya, the Buddha said, Sapan Jani Devan, all should be known. What is it all? The Buddha said, aggregate, meta aggregate, feeling aggregate, perception aggregate, mental formation aggregate, consciousness aggregate. That is all. That are all also not completely 28 material qualities. What is present as? What is appear as an object? We must notice. Therefore, Mahasi Syaras always instructs, whatever appear you must notice. What is appear in your mind and your body? Whatever appear you must notice. What is not appear, no need to notice. How to notice not appear, you see? So that is Nama Rupa Paricheda Jnana is only if we realize this one, there is also Nama Rupa Paricheda included. No, cannot know the whole Nama and the whole Rupas. It's okay.
Can you kindly define what is a sentient being? My own understanding of a sentient being is that they have consciousness. If that is so, how about plants? Some plants do have consciousness.
According to this test, yes, sentient being must have consciousness. Not only consciousness, accumulations of karma, result of karma also must be. The plant, about the plant, they are similar to like a conscious. So maybe the questioners have ideas. Some plants catch fly. You know, some plants is blossom flower. In the flower there is fly inside, is catched. That is very clear nowadays, you see. In supermarket, airport, when we close, the door is open. But the door has no consciousness. The door open, when we pass, the door closed. Robots also, you see. Not as mere consciousness, flowers have consciousness, cannot say. Because of, you see, the heat of the plant, because of the heat of plant, it is changes, chemical changes is possible. Therefore it is a catch, closed. Like the doors, you see, airport doors, you cannot see doors are closed. When we approach, it's open, nobody there. I think there is body heat, used body heat. Infrared. So maybe something in this way. But there are something I heard about it that there are some plant. Near the plant, if we sing a song or dancing, the plants are happy. That is the meaning, I think. Our mind make it change the udu. The udu change the trees directly. Not our mind effect